This is Stu Strauss, the Woodsman, and you're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
It is 1:54 p.m. Today is the 5th, December 5th. And we just had a show at the Whiskey 2 nights ago. I guess 2 nights ago. It wasn't last night, I don't think. It was the night before. Hello. We played up at the Whiskey and had a great show up there. I gotta say, it feels so good to get out that last episode that I just got out about the Dos Lagos Film Fest. That was my first set of Q&As with the filmmakers during that time. That was the October 21st set of Q&As on that day. We went 3 days, October 21st through 23rd. So I was able to get those Q&As out there. That's something that I've been meaning to do. Hello, beautiful day, huh?
Yeah, very nice day.
So fresh, right? So fresh. Wow, such a fresh day. I think it rained. Here comes the rain again. I gotta say, it was so good. It felt so good to get that out there. I wanted to, type in all the descriptions and everything. And something strange that's been happening is when I... It's weird. Like, if I save specific titles on... Let's put it this way. When I import audio into this podcast, the hierarchy or whatever, however you put these into the Anchor thing, it'll just usually just have the name of whatever it was, the very first initial thing. Or sometimes when I'm busy or something, I'll just go FFFFF or QXY or some quick little thing, just so I have a title on that thing, which the whole idea is to go back in there later on and to change the title to be more appropriately fit for what that segment is about. So I'll change that on the laptop in the desktop version of Anchor. I'll save it, but then if I decide to go onto the app on my phone, I'll go in there, and then it'll change all the titles that I had spent specifically typing out on my computer. They'll all be now just like right back to what they were before I changed it, which is puzzling because I spent that time typing in that specific thing ever so carefully. Off to the left, there's a car that has reindeer antlers on it. It's so cool. Stuck into the windows. So I've been seeing a lot of these signs for Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 out now, Guns N' Roses. There was I just put up a TikTok about this when I was at the Rainbow, outside the Rainbow, after Yachtley Crew's show, or before Yachtley Crew's show. I was up at the Rainbow with a couple of fine people. And up on the wall, it was one of those optical illusions where if you look at it from one diagonal way, it was the orange cover. You know how they did the 2 different covers? They did like the orange and yellowish cover, and then they did the blue and black cover, I believe. So on the wall, when you walk, it's the yellow, but if you keep walking, and then you go, it's like it slowly turns into the blue and black version. So you kind of see both versions at once. It's really cool. They're both kind of hidden in there. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So it feels so good just to get that up there. Get that off my chest. Once you just get into the weeds of it, you just get in there. Once you get in there, it's like, okay. Now it becomes like a video game. Now it becomes a mission. I have so much stuff. I've got Monsterpalooza audio from when I went to Monsterpalooza, which was put on by famous monsters of Filmland. I got to listen to those and get those people's names again. Some of these people even gave me cards. Oh, right in front of me on the sidewalk. I'm coming up to a tent. Go ahead. Coming up to a tent. I wonder how much of the streets and parks you can actually occupy with your tent. Remember the Occupy movement? I think that was an exercise in showing us what is possible. So really, you could have a camp out in the park, I'd assume. I mean, how late could you go? Could you seriously camp out on the sidewalk and maybe have a little bonfire? That'd be pretty cool. So I'm heading up to the store right now. I'm gonna get me some quarters, wash some clothes, wash my Yachtley Crew clothes too, because we have starting on the 7th, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we have like 5 or 6 days in a row. So we're going to have to treat those days like we're running, a marathon, not a sprint. We cannot hit these shows like a sprint. When you have one show, you can hit it like a sprint. Like really just like, rah, But when you have like 6 shows in a row, which has been a while since we did something like that, it's going to be one of those things where you wake up early or drive real late somewhere after the gig. Stay over there outside of town because it's a little bit less expensive. It stacks up. The more that you pay for gas for the van and hotel rooms for everybody. So, yeah, as you go through that situation, you realize, holy cow, how many pants do I bring? How many shirts do I bring? When would we be able to wash these items? A few white t-shirts, undershirts, of course the overshirts that have the little wings on them. I'll talk more after this. In fact, I might even insert some one of my favorite people who contributes regularly to the podcast. We shall see. We shall see what's coming up next on Inspirado Projecto. We got our, I got my things that I wanted to get at the grocery store. I'm now back at my apartment. I just took some clothes down to the wash. Today's still the 5th. 5/29. And so I've been contacting the various filmmakers that I interviewed for that recent segment. Hello. For the recent episode. Dos Lagos Film Fest, October 21st. All right, 44 minutes left. So, yes, I just emailed each of these filmmakers that were mentioned that were either interviewed in the Q&A or had something to do with the movie. So that's what I just got finished doing. And I'm also slightly piecing together the next round of Q&As. Tomorrow, the 6th, I'm hanging out with my buddy Jeff Finn, who has been putting together Before the End, the Jim Morrison docuseries. So maybe what we'll do is I'll just interview our conversation. Maybe I'll interview him to find out updates and stuff like that. So you get a chance to listen to those shenanigans. Kitty. We have a series of shows. Yachtley Crew shows. Let's see. Let me take a look here. Let's see. All right, let's check this out. So, oh my gosh, it smells so good. I'm out on the balcony. Oh, it smells so good. That nice crispy night air. It smells so good. Oh no, I just got a text message through Yachtley Crew that Kirstie Alley from Cheers is dead. Oh my gosh, 5:31 p.m. right now. December 5th. So these are our shows. San Luis Obispo, December 7th. Goldfield Trading Post, December 8th. December 9th, Goldfield Trading Post. It's in Roseville. December 10th, Calabasas, private event. And we got a little bit of time until the 17th, which is a private event. Then we're back in Solana Beach, December 28th. 29th and 30th, we're in Vegas. So, things are moving. Things are grooving. We can't wait to play for you again. If you hear that squawking in the background, that is Mulder. It's Jimmy Lee's cat, Mulder. Sweet cat, sweet cat. I've been noticing the clouds lately looking more and more real. I'm very happy to see this. Less and less chemtrails, more and more real clouds. I love it. I've got a lot of just a lot of things that have been going on lately. My mom was diagnosed with lung cancer, so we are putting the good vibes out there. She's out in Nashville with Vanderbilt, so these guys know what they're doing. I met like 10 doctors right there before I left. I was in town for Thanksgiving. I missed a Yachtley Crew show so I could be home with my mom. I was out there for, I think, like 7 days. And 20th through the 27th or something like that. So that was great, hanging out with the kids. I recorded a lot of memories with my mom. I recorded stuff that the doctors were saying. A lot of doctors. One of them was named Terry, Terri. And I thought that was fantastic because the doctor's name was Terri. My mom's name is Terri. And she's like, "Oh, you're a real Terry. I'm a Teresa." And then my mom goes, "Well, I've always wanted to be a Teresa." So it was such a cool sign. But I recorded, a lot of the stuff that we talked about. They listened to Yachtley Crew. My mom was getting this procedure done to put this port in her chest so they could more easily put this chemo in, which is going to be coming up in about a week or so. She's going to start getting her first dose of chemo. And then she's going to do immunotherapy. So she's got she's got that port in there. And she said during that time, because they kept her kind of like awake during this particular surgery, and they said, "What would you like to listen to?" And she said, "Yachtley Crew." So she listened to Yachtley Crew while she was getting this operation. Everybody sang, they held her hand. And she was just so happy to have Yachtley Crew just kind of be there with her through the experience. So, I will talk more later. I'm going to dive into this situation, the podcasts. Thank you for listening to Inspirado Projecto. You never know what's waiting around the corner. 10:48 a.m. I'm on my way over to Matthew McDonald's house. He lives as one might say, a hop, skip, and jump away from me. So then he usually takes me to Sailor Hawkins or to Baba Buoy's house, which is where we jump on the land yacht. Off into the world we go. The tricky thing about wearing a hoodie, and a backpack is just get on there just right. So the hood is still underneath the backpack. I think we did it. So we've got a couple of shows coming up, Yachtley Crew. One of which I'm going to read off the upcoming chart here. Maybe by the time tonight rolls around, tonight's show, I will have this episode out. Now that I'm back in the roll, baby, back in the roll, in the flow. Ooh, crispy day out here. Crispy day. So, December 7th, San Luis Obispo. December 8th and 9th, the Goldfield Trading Post in Roseville, California. December 10th, we got a private event in Calabasas. So, so it's very exciting. We got these shows picking back up. We just recently had our whiskey show on December 3rd. And I was able to I had a few days off, and I thought, you know what? I've got those Dos Lagos Q&As from back in October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. So I thought, you know what? I promised I got to get these out. I've still got interviews from Monster Palooza, which is the event that Famous Monsters put out. I think I mentioned something about that. That was a huge epiphany right there. Because, I don't know if I mentioned this, I probably did. Max Neptune and the Menacing Squid, the retro sci-fi I was in, we played at a film fest that Famous Monsters put out some time ago called Imagine Movies. And I'm not sure how long ago that was, but they played us at their film fest. And then what was interesting was they had a film fest in Roswell that Famous Monsters put on. Imagine that. Max Neptune and the Menacing Squid playing in Roswell. God, it just blew my mind. Just to think that there was possibly some extraterrestrials hanging out in that audience watching this. Just mystified about our portrayal of the future according to the 50s. We decided to place it in the future of 2050. Because if you remember a lot of those movies from back in the day, when they imagineered what the future would look like, they had a lot of ideas, like the Jetsons type stuff. Bubbly crafts, bubbly laser guns, bubbly helmets. All that. It didn't look like there were many sharp edges, so to speak. So, we had a blast putting that out. It's on YouTube if you want to check it out. Max Neptune and the Menacing Squid. I had an interview with a man named David from Spain 3 days ago. Did I mention this? The interview with David? He's writing a book about the Blues Brothers, and so right now he's culminating through Zoom calls, or even just written words through emails. He's been interviewing various people. He's really trying to get some of the original musicians from the band. It smells so great out here. I don't know if I mentioned this. Apparently Blues Brothers out in Europe are a pretty big deal. So who knows? Maybe they'll have a convention out there sometime. He gave me the email address for the people who are in charge of they had a Blues Brothers convention at Joliet Prison this year, but I had Yachtley Crew stuff going on. But boy, wouldn't that have been fun? Go out there, talk with the fans of Blues Brothers, and that'd have been fun. So yeah, I had probably a 3-hour-long conversation with David, and it was really cool to hear his thoughts. All right, we are nearing Nancy McDonald's house right now. This is such a quiet neighborhood out here. It's so crazy to see the yards like stripped away, and in place of it, these fake yards. I'm curious at what point in history that started. I don't know if I told you this or not, but I remember as a little kid, I just remember thinking how much I didn't like wanting to go out and mow the lawn. I remember just thinking, imagining this idea of, well, why don't they just put carpets on the ground? You know, why don't they just put carpets out there instead of grass? Just take all the grass away. I remember saying that out loud, and little did I realize somewhere in the future, these carpets of fake grass would be laid upon the lawns. How does that work with the climate, and the precipitation of carbon dioxide and oxygen? How does that work? One would think that, like, I'm imagining like the grass is like when they say your epidermis, your skin layer is the largest organ you got. Your whole layer of skin, the outer skin. And so you can absorb things through your skin. That's why it's always very important as to what kind of soaps you're putting in there, what you're putting in your hair. All that absorbs into the pores. So just like that, that's what the grass is, if you think about it. It's like, you know, it's right there. Soaking in all this stuff. It's giving life to the trees that are there, the plants and whatnot. So what happens when you take away that grass and you replace it? I haven't done the deep dives, however, I can imagine it. I mean, that's a tiny piece of grass out there. They could have just left the grass. It's fascinating to watch people. I just love seeing, you know, how people react with their dogs, what kind of things they say to their dogs, what do they say to you when they pass by with their dogs. You know, just glancing at the various rapport between them and seeing the similarities. It's kind of like when you look at family members. I think we were talking about this. When you look at family members and they're there in front of you and you're able to see the family members in front of their sons or daughters, you're able to go, okay, well, she got her eyes from the mom, and he got the eyes from the or the nose from the dad, and she got the mouth from the dad, and you can see like the little Frankenstein pieces there, the way that they fit together. And that's kind of how it is if you look at people with their dogs. You could kind of see some very similarities there. I'm sure you've seen those photos that have been out there before of people and their pets. It's really quite interesting. It's very, very, very interesting. I've got an interview with a Nigerian Uber driver when I came back from Nashville. I've got a lot of interviews with just with my family, just hanging out, talking to old times. It was great to hang out with Jeff Finn yesterday, my fellow Andy Kaufman fan. he has been putting together Before the End, which is the Jim Morrison documentary. He's been putting that together for a long time, and it was so great to see him yesterday. He now lives in Pasadena. Before he lived in Joshua Tree and no, where does he live now? Does he live back in Big Bear? Does he live in... Well, he's always moving around. Always moving around. I gotta see where the heck he's living now. Anyway, he just moved somewhere, some new place now. Can't remember if he went to Joshua Tree from Big Bear or to Big Bear from Joshua Tree. So I have a lot of respect for anyone who can move around that much. And they got all their stuff and they just keep moving and moving. That is, that's quite a bit of commitment, a lot of commitment to do something like that. So anyway, he and I hung out yesterday. We haven't seen each other in a long time. We hung out all day. We originally went to Jerry's Deli. That is where Andy Kaufman first used to work. And he's been working on this Jim Morrison documentary a very long time, and I got a chance to add some art to it. I acted a little bit in there. It's been great seeing all these various incarnations of this. This is the third version of this that I've seen, because he's gone through 3 different editors. And so many things that it's like, we're right on the edge. Are we going to make it? Dun, dun, dun. And then all of a sudden some plot twist happens, and then it ends up working out for the best. So it's been phenomenal to see that kind of perseverance and the ways that he's put this whole thing together. It's a total, when you watch this thing, it's like a crime, one of those crime shows. It's one of those crime shows that you see where you become a detective along with, whatever's going on there. You're now in the driver's seat trying to figure stuff out, putting the pieces together. It's a very fascinating doc. The amount of detail, layers, questions, curiosity, it just keeps evolving and evolving. It's just absolutely fascinating. I will tell you more about the razzmatazz later on. Thank you for listening to Inspirado Projecto. Gosh, what a beautiful morning. It is so sleepy out here. Just, when you're out here in the morning, it's not even like morning, but it's morning. And just being outside in the morning, listen, hearing the birds. Just enjoying it, soaking it in. So good. All right. I look forward to seeing you at one of these Yachtley Crew shows. Take care. We're doing a sound check here at Goldfields in Roseville, near Sacramento. It's the effervescent Evel Knievel of yacht rock. Pauly Shores. Approaching the stage is Tommy Buoy, wearing his hat. Last time I saw him wearing that hat, he was feeling under the weather. I feel this is what his hat that he wears when he's not feeling so good. He lost his voice. There's nothing. He's not. He doesn't have any stuffy nose, any of that razzmatazz. He just. He lost his voice. And the only last time I saw him like that was when he was very, very sick. This was when we were auditioning for Disney to play there at the Food and Wine Festival. And we were the only band with tattoos that was cleared because they don't like people with tattoos. They usually didn't hire them for the bands out there. And I guess dudes with long hair, I guess that was another thing they didn't do, or facial hair for that matter. But in this case, they let the protocols slide. Isn't that interesting? This just goes to show you, no matter what the rules are, what the protocols are, does not matter. There's always something that will enable something to work it through. If you just look at it from a human perspective and you go, look, I'm a human. The protocols don't rule me. I rule the protocols. They do my bidding. They're their suggestions, But it's astounding. Oh, look at this. Here comes Pauly Shores. You're on Inspirado Projecto podcast.
3, 4, go.
Inspirado Projecto.
Brought to you by
Inspirado Projecto. Sponsored by Inspirado Projecto. A subsidiary of Inspirado Projecto.
influenced by
Inspirado Projecto. From the makers of Inspirado Projecto,
Projecto, Projecto, Projecto, Projecto, Projecto, Projecto, Inspirado, 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 Projecto. So the word on the street is
yes,
that the hippest cats and the hippest chicks,
yes,
they're gonna be at Goldfield Trading Company tonight.
that's what they've been saying.
Know what I'm saying, Daddy-O?
Mm-hmm. They've been talking about it on the streets, in the papes,
In the
on dare I say the
rumor magazines.
The rumor magazines.
Yep.
The TMZ, Us Weekly magazines.
All the hip cats and kittens.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be jumping and jiving at Goldfield's Trading Company tonight.
That's right.
In Roseville, California.
And from what the rumors say, it's close to Sacktown, as they say. Sacktown.
The
town of Sacks.
Sack, yes.
See? As you well know, you got the Sacks.
That's right.
Pauly Shores has the Sacks in Sackstown. Oh, so sweet. So sweet. Ooh, that's good. Baby, come back.
Baby, come back.
Listen, you can blame it all on me.
Or him.
Or him.
Or you.
But I was wrong.
Or me.
Just can't live without you. Baby, come back. Baby, come back. I was wrong. I just can't live without you. Okay?
Baby,
okay?
come back.
You can blame it
So,
all on me.
On this episode, what are the main points? What are the adventures that are happening
What has happened so far?
on this juncture?
I think I took them on a journey to the grocery store.
Which one?
Ralph's.
Ralph's.
I think I took them on a trip. Oh yeah, that's what it was. I was gonna get quarters. I was buying quarters for the laundry.
Oh.
And I have to get them at Wells Fargo, at my bank.
Oh.
Because Ralph's used to let me buy like $10 in quarters. They used to let me do that.
But not anymore?
No, they say they're low on quarters. And I wonder, well, there's a bank right there in Ralph's. Why don't it's right there. You have no reason to be low on quarters. Oh.
Uh-oh. Why is he doing that?
What is going on?
On.
What is going on?
Roseville, California. Roseville, California. Roseville, California. Roseville, California. Go Fields, trading post. Roseville, California. Roseville, California. Roseville, California. Go Fields, trading post. Goldfield, California. Roseville, California. Roseville, California. Goldfield Trading Post. Roseville, California. Roseville, California. Roseville, California. Goldfield Trading Post. Roseville. Roseville, California is here to stay. Roseville, California in a major way. We're gonna show ya, be ya, experience the trading, Roseville, trading Goldfield Post, Roseville, 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 trading, Roseville, Goldfield, trading, Goldfield, trading post, in Roseville, in Trading Post, Trading Post, Incorporated. Incorporated. KIDS, kids. Ooh. All right. Hear the drummer get wicked. Take a look at me now. Robin Sharp, ladies and gentlemen, on the drum kit.
That's him. That's him.
Tommy Buoy, ladies and gentlemen, on the guitar.
On the guitar.
Aaron, Robin's friend, on the bass.
On the bass. That's him. He's bassing it up.
Jazz is a beautiful looking bass. Look at it.
It is a beautiful looking bass.
The gold underlay thing.
Yeah.
The pick guard is what it's called, I guess.
Really wild and crazy. Really wild and... all right, ladies and gentlemen, we will talk to you more later on Inspirado Projecto. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so I'm outside of Goldfields here in Roseville. Check it out. Tell me if you know what this is. So there's a parking lot here. There's an open window, and these folks were just playing a version of Smashing Pumpkins. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. But they had a very particular sound about it. It sounded like there's like 4 or 5 people singing it. Let's see, what are they playing? So these people are playing music up here? And earlier it was, they were playing the Smashing Pumpkins. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. That's what they were playing up there, coming out of this window. And I'm just hoping to hear what that next song might be. But it sounded like, it was almost like a bunch of howling, like, there's like 4 or 5 people singing it. It was really interesting. It sounded really interesting. I see the top of someone's head. There's a wall in there that's red. Yeah. There's a couple people in there. Interesting. See, I want to be in rooms like that, like little places like that where, whoa! Hey, thank you. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can do some airdropping right now. I don't know if any of these people are going to really recognize me, which is great. So I'm going to do some airdropping. I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks for listening to Inspirado Projecto. Here, live at Goldfields in Roseville, close to Sacktown, before the Yachtley Crew show. We'll be back. Were you telling me yesterday that you're a ghostwriter,
Yes.
a screenwriter?
Used to be. I haven't only thing for about 10 years.
Oh wow! What did you work on?
Star Trek.
Oh, that's great.
I was involved with a contest when somebody was going to make, a group was going to make the next one after Nemesis. And I was working at a gas station in Nokomis, and I was running up my mouth saying, I know where Star Trek Nemesis can come next. And the older silver-haired guy said, who's standing in line? I said, really? You want to write it? He gave me permission to cover. I wrote up would be a Civil War. And used characters from TNG, Voyager, and Next Generation, Deep Space Nine. And used a character from Deep Space Nine that decided he was not too pleased with the Federation, and after having to hand his badge from the episode, he went on and did his own thing and started hijacking fleets. They took over some mothball fleets and stuff that were being designed to fight the Borg. And then when the Borg was solved by Voyager, he used them against and the people who would follow him would eventually declare war on the Federation.
Oh, wow.
In the process of time, the Dominion was defeated. The Cardassians were defeated, being brought into the Federation. The Bajorans weren't really, they were involved but not involved, kind of saying. The Bajorans and them are just, there was a lot of issue with that in the books. I had to watch every fucking episode of Star Trek and then compare it to some of the book stuff or writings.
Wow. So you really did your research for this one.
Yeah, the problem with Star Trek is the same problem that Star Wars and Transformers is having right now. The fake fans, loudmouth on the internet. Not all these idiots who don't like the Bay films. They don't realize how the Bay films would still be on someone's shelf collecting dust. Fans nowadays follow the critics instead of the stuff they're supposed to be fans of. Hypercritical people saying they don't like The Last Jedi, but this fucking Luke Skywalker sacrifices himself to be in the movie. That's what a Jedi's supposed to do. Sacrifice, self-sacrifice, selfless behavior. They don't know the source material they're bitching about. But then again, if Lucas has spent his entire life bitching about Buck Rogers, they wouldn't have Star Wars to bitch about.
Wow.
What they ought to do is get off their butts and write their own shit instead of spending their time bitching about Star Wars or Star Trek not going the way they want to. Transformers. Hell, go. If you don't like what they did, go make a GoBots movie, you dumbass.
That's right, GoBots, yeah. That'd be great, right?
What's actually funny is if you go and watch Marvel's the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, Drax picks a fight with a cosplayer who's dressed up like Psycho from the GoBots. I'm sitting there because I'm a big culture. I'm a culture king. I'm not going to call myself a culture king but yeah, we're going to go with that. Let's just say I have fucking Transformers everywhere in my fucking room.
Mm-hmm.
And girlfriend's cool with it. She's cool with it. In fact, the female ones don't get open. But I had some clown call me. So I had some clown call on the internet call me not Transformers fan, but a Blythe Baines. So I sent him a picture back with my freaking Siege Jamaica Supreme kicking it on the couch with a remote control in his claw hand, cup of beer in the other one.
Well, that's great.
So self-isolating.
That's great.
And that'll make you Supreme understand about that.
Wow.
That is my hands, my girlfriend's scrunchies, both my girlfriend's scrunchies for her hair up in that on our shelf. So you know, not trans. But
Good morning.
yeah, primarily right now projects I'm working on a couple screenplays for a couple cheap horror films, slashers. I'm working on an AVP screenplay that does follow what's going on with Alien and Predator franchise.
Oh.
It follows the two AVP films, the director's cuts of the ones that we already got. I imagine when people actually one of the biggest, another complaint is AVP fans. They watch AVP Requiem, and the biggest question they have right about Requiem is how dark it is, how dark the lighting is. And they're saying, oh, the dark, you shade something right there and proving you're cutting corners on special effects. Dude, in the 70s, you don't like dark alien films? Stay away from the original one. Don't ever watch the James Cameron one, Aliens. Tell somebody who's an Alien fan not to watch Aliens because they don't like Alien AVP Requiem. Both movies, I think Requiem is just as good as Aliens. Because I watched them and I understood them and I could follow the dialogue. You have idiots on the line that they say that they can't follow what the Transformers are speaking. They turn off your cell phones and you're in the freaking theater.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to follow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
But man, since you work here, it's like you've got all these cool locations. You know, just think about shooting something here.
The one Rockland Sierra College. I'm always just watching people, watching how they behave, because if someone's not being a jerk or a character,
That's such a great idea. Oh,
so
yeah.
I still slasher we're working on as I'm trying to find something I can do myself, my own team. And I'm looking at, I can tear down the shot and how the shot's moving. I've been watching behind the scenes of movies ever since Michael Jackson's Thriller when I was a little child.
Oh.
And my mom said, "You like this video?" Because I hate it. Got me addicted to that stuff when I was really young. Unfortunately, depression gets in the way. Get along.
The behind the scenes stuff is always great because it helps you understand, you know, it really helps. Like I remember when I saw that very first Star Wars one where they show they're flying the Millennium Falcon and it shows just a blue screen behind them and I couldn't wrap my brain around that. You know, at a young age, I'm like, what the heck? You know, back then I didn't know what chroma key was.
Nowadays, Super Bowl, the iPhone on freaking.
Oh yeah, they could shoot on iPhones now.
I'm down. We got freaking GoPros. We haven't taken out of the package yet. I work 7 days a week between here, Rockland, and DoorDash. I'm working to catch my shit out of debt. I have a scheme, an idea scheme that I'm gonna do on some of those sweepstakes places. But, you know, you actually put your phone number in and stuff. Now they're blowing your phone up. But they decide to blow up our premium number.
Oh. That's a good plan. That's a good plan.
But that's not even works. But again, I like to make fun of movie critics because they don't find anything useful. They hate Michael Bay because Bay said outright that they're not filmmakers. And it shouldn't be a crime to make action films. And if he were not making action, I would die of laughter if he decided to do a romantic comedy with no car chases.
Oh yeah.
And no explosions. Wait, Michael Bay did that! the funniest thing is, Bay's critics were flipping hamburgers at age 15. You know what he was doing at age 15, his first job? Duplicating scripts and storyboard sets for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Wow, I never knew that.
I'd say he knows a little bit more about movies.
That's incredible.
And then all the idiots on the internet want to take a stab at frickin' Kathleen Kennedy. Sure, we could say Kathleen, we could all spend like a decade spitting on George Lucas for 1, 2, and 3. But when he retires and he hands his franchise over to two collaborators of the franchise, Lawrence Kasdan and Kathleen Kennedy, who are known for making such stinkers like Jurassic Park, E.T. Those Another Loser films she made was Witches of Eastwick. How about working with Back to the Future? Those are really terrible.
So she helped out with which?
She worked a lot. She was actually hired when they were doing Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh wow.
And a lot of the films that she worked on, E.T. and Raiders of the Lost Ark, and she was been in Lucasfilm for a long time.
Wow.
But Lucas spent some time getting spit on by the fans.
Oh, that's crazy.
Parsifal and Ready Player One said it perfectly. A real fan spot here, by the way.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Like, all those people go to Metallica concerts just to say that Metallica sucks, or those idiot freaking metal reviewers who picked apart Kirby and The Crusade.
Oh yeah.
Which, because he didn't growl in any song. Growling doesn't make metal. It's a nice little part of it, but you know, Bruce Dickinson doesn't have to growl. The guy from Camelot doesn't have to growl. The guy from Opeth can growl or not, it doesn't matter. Every track he does is awesome, regardless of whether or not he's doing an Alice in Chains cover or doing something like The Lotus Eater, which is one of the most bizarre songs you've ever heard. I know you your position, right?
Which song are you referring to?
Lotus Eater on Watershed.
Oh, I'll keep my eyes out, my ears out for that.
He starts all the sound going on about it. Then read the blast beats. Just blast beats as he's singing, and then it slows down to More Morbid Angels.
Wow, I gotta listen to that one. Well, listen, I gotta start getting ready. We're gonna be leaving the van. What's your name again?
Dustin.
Dustin, pleasure meeting you. I'm Kurt. Have a good night.
You too.
It was great talking to you.
I can talk right now.
No worries. No, it was great. So there we go. So there we go. I had come across him last night when we went in there. Pauly said that the lobby had cookies. He said the lobby had cookies, and so we went in there, and sure enough, there's some cookies. So. So we had some of those and coffee. This is one of those places where they got coffee all night, all day, all night. It's not just a special time. The continental breakfast, that's what I just got done having. The continental breakfast, which could mean any number of things. This one meant French toast. I think you could make your own waffle. They had eggs there. They had yogurt. They had, I had some silk chocolate milk, the soy milk, delicioso. I forgot what else they had. Oh, some fresh fruit. So, delicious. See if I could catch 10 more minutes of sleep. Good morning. Holy cow.
Nasty out.
It is nasty out. I went down to have breakfast. Whoa. Oh. Back at home now. 6:48. I'm gonna take a 10-minute nap. And we'll get back out on the road. Projecto. All right, so I'm testing out the AirPod, and I'm hoping.
Your name and where you're sitting from the microphone.
So the AirPod is probably 2-3 inches from my mouth, maybe.
Yep.
And so I got Pauly Shores here to the right. I have Tommy Buoy in front of me.
Pauly Shores over here to the right.
So I'm hoping we're doing a test to see if you can actually hear them talk. And
Tommy, what's the weather? What's the weather over there?
The weather is nipply.
Let's see if I get closer.
Oh, how about now? Can you hear me now?
Let's try.
Can you hear me now? Hello, this is Tommy Buoy on Inspirado Projecto. Just wondering how many hot bitches are listening.
That's right. That's right.
It has been known, studies have shown that Inspirado Projecto has the highest percentage of hot bitches listening.
This is very true.
Any other podcast in the world.
This is in the analytics. This pops up in the analytics every time I go to anchor.fm. I look up my analytics. It says Inspirado Projecto. It's science. What can I say? I got to follow it. So, okay, any other words of interest that you'd like to say?
Hot bitches. That's why we're all here.
All right. Very good. Very good. We'll test it out.
This is Blythe Baines, and you're listening to Inspirado Projecto.